Vince Phillips of the United States. Now, earlier at the beginning of the show, Larry, you said that Tszyu has the chance to break through via American media and become a big star here. What is it about him that attracts your attention?
Well, first, once again, he's a boy named Tszyu with a pigtail.
Couldn't resist it,
That helps. But it wouldn't help if he didn't also have a crowd-pleasing style and a punch that could have ended the war in Chechnya a little sooner than it was if he was still in Russia. And also he has some kind of innate sense of show business about him, which you really wouldn't expect from someone who spent most of his years as an amateur fighter in Russia, where there is no professional boxing. For example, he told us that part of the reason that he punches so well is that he dips his hand in some sort of herbal concoction put together by a Chinese kung fu master, right. And I thought, well, maybe what he's dipping his hands in is cement. Either that or Mr. Ponytail is just telling us a tall tale that we can tell you. But he can fight, and he is fighting a fighter tonight who can fight. This is a boy named Tszyu against a man named Vince.
Indeed. Tszyu punches hard with both hands. So too does the opponent, Vince Phillips. Vince Phillips was once a schoolboy chum and training ring partner of Roy Jones's in Pensacola, Florida. A lot of water under the bridge since then. Weighed in at 140 yesterday, comes in at 149 tonight after regaining some of that weight. But it's been a long time since Vince has had to make 140, although maybe it's his most effective weight. At this stage of his career, what does 140 mean to him?
140 is Vince's best weight anyway. I think financial endeavors made him go up to the 147.
Yeah, he was looking for money at 147.
Yeah, and you know, he could get the fights at 147 that he could not get at 140. So he had to sacrifice and go up and take the chances, take the risk, because if they won't fight you at 140, you have to go to 147. He couldn't go back to 135. Now he's there at 140, but is it too late? We don't know. We have to see which Vince shows up tonight. He definitely has the heart, he definitely has the skills, but is his time ran out? We don't know, but we will soon find out.
He arrives here tonight as one of the better fighters in the sport, never to have won a significant world title. Maybe he can finally cross that bridge tonight against Tszyu. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between Vince Phillips and Tszyu. You see the 6-year age advantage for the man from Syros, Russia, now fighting out of Australia. Gives up 2 inches in height to cool Vince Phillips, but nevertheless, Tszyu, with long arms for his frame, has a 2-inch reach advantage. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
Let's take a look and see how active they are. And you can see that Phillips can be a very, very active fighter. We've seen him throw well over 100 punches around, or he can get back on his feet and move around and throw 60 punches around. But he is versatile, and he will test Tszyu.
At one time,
Go ahead, Roy.
At one time, Phillips had the counterpunch record for most punches thrown in a fight, I think.
Oh, yeah. He threw more than 300 in averaging more than 100 punches around in his loss in April of 1995 to Ike Quartey down in San Martin, and has always thrown a lot of punches. Rules of the bout with Harold Letterman.
The Tszyu Vince Phillips fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. There is no standing gate count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Entry music for Vince Phillips from the movie Space Jam. Vince Phillips' game plan tonight, try to keep Tszyu off balance with the jab and box, box, box. Try not to get into a slugfest with Tszyu.
He had to be inspired by Jesse Ferguson. He told us earlier that he had been inspired by a commercial for Michael Jordan, and he says, tell me I'm slower, tell me I can't punch, tell me I can't take a punch. I want you to doubt me.
Record for Vince Phillips, 35 wins. Losses to Anthony Boy Jones?
Yep, Anthony Jones.
Anthony Baby Jones. And Ike Quartey, the 3rd loss to Romalis Ellis in January of this year. And a lot of us at ringside felt that Vince had won that fight, although Ellis got a split decision. Anthony Baby Jones out of Detroit. I'm going to clear that up and get it right. Vince Phillips with a look down to his buddy Roy Jones here at ringside. You were pretty close growing up, right, Roy?
Very close growing up. Very, very close.
You know, he is living proof that you don't have to win every fight in order to get fights, as long as you go out and put everything into it, give us a good show, and you can come back.
Well, he's a terrific guy, too. He's the kind of guy that you root for, just as was the case with Jesse Ferguson in the earlier bout. Kenny Adams, well known as one of the better amateur coaches in the world for a long time. Airborne Ranger drill sergeant in the United States Army, and Vince Phillips was with Kenny Adams in the Army before he turned pro. Now here comes Kostya Tszyu, and you see the outstanding record in championship fights.
I asked him where he got his strength and power, and he told the story of being 12 years old and carrying a basket, a 50-pound basket of berries 15 miles through forests and swamps. And that kind of upbringing, hard work, puts power into your body.
Relatively simple fight plan for Kostya Tszyu tonight. He wants to establish the right hand early and pressure Vince Phillips. In his last fight on the undercard of De La Hoya Miguel Angel Gonzalez back in January, he got a technical draw when he was ruled to have hit Leonardo Mas after referee Joe Cortez called for a break at the end of the first round. Mas went down. It was the third time that he had been down in the round, stayed down, and it was officially ruled a technical draw. So there's the record: 18 wins, no losses, 1 draw against Leonardo Mas, 14 KOs for Tszyu, who is a power-punching 140-pounder. And now with both fighters in the ring, let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official intros.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, along with Gelb Promotions and your undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, present 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Stephen Katz, Deputy Commissioner John Greco. The timekeeper is Roosevelt Gilbert. This bout is also sanctioned by the IBF, President Robert W. Lee, Supervisor at ringside Darrell Peebles. The 3 judges scoring this contest on a 10-point must system will be Deborah Barnes, Melvina Lathan, and Desmond Boyd. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Benji Esteves. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from Donald J. Trump's Taj Mahal of Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple and black and weighing in at 140 pounds. His professional record, an excellent one. 35 victories with 24 knockouts and only 3 defeats. From Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the challenger, Cool Vincent Phillips. And across the ring in the blue corner, his opponent, wearing black and weighing in also at 140 pounds. His professional record, also an excellent one. 18 victories without a loss, 14 by knockout with 1 draw. This native son of Russia now lives and fights out of Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Kostya Tszyu.
Okay, man, again, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you. Udachi.
There's much talk of Tszyu eventually moving up into the welterweight ranks to fight the likes of De La Hoya, Trinidad, Whitaker, Corte. This will give us a clue whether he has that kind of strength inside that 140-pound frame.
A more immediate prospect before he goes to the welterweight level would be a 140-pound unification bout against the winner of a fight between Miguel Angel Gonzalez and Julio Cesar Chavez. To do that, he has to get past Phillips tonight.
Kostya looks a lot more relaxed than Phillips does right now.
One of Tszyu's great qualities is that he always looks relaxed in the ring. He's a very confident young man. Phillips trying to get the jab working early. Tszyu trying to land power punches.
Phillips is trying to land a big right hand himself.
Tszyu kind of bobs that left hand up and down. If Vince can gauge the rhythm of that bobbing up and down, he'll try to get over the top of that left with the right hand.
One thing Tszyu is doing real well is that he's faking at Vince. He's making Vince commit to every feint. This is how you keep a guy on the defense.
Tszyu backing Phillips up with the right hand. Vince pumping the jab, trying to get his head and shoulders going so he can get into a boxing rhythm. Tszyu lands a hard right hand inside.
A very good right hand. Vince is working Tszyu's body early, though. I must give him credit.
But Kostya coming forward as though he's not terribly worried about Vince's punching power.
No, but if he walks into one of those right hands, he will become worried about it. Oh, good body shot by Phillips.
Right hand up and under for Phillips. Tszyu chases him and lands a left hand.
Both of these guys are throwing very big punches early.
Very good first round. No feeling out of any opponents here.
No need to. Both guys like to land big punches, and they are trying to land them early. Oh, that was a good right hand by Phillips.
Clean break now. Step back.
Phillips' best shots have come off of classic 1-2s, throwing the jab and then following up with the right hand. Right hand by Phillips lands flush on Kostya's face. Tszyu, apparently unmoved by the punch, landed in return.
Right back in return. Very good round for both fighters.
That's the way to work. But you got to move. We're moving fine, but we got to slip to the right. Vince, well, we still got to slip to the right, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Vince, are you with me? Yeah. How you feeling? Good. Looking good the first round. Good first round. Now, a lot of love.
In the back at me. It's okay. It's okay. Next round. Give us a best line, Peter.
Put it where he can see it.
End of the round, Phillips still looking for that one punch, as he put it to us, to get the respect of Tszyu in order to slow down his aggression. But Tszyu is a very tough guy to slow down.
Tszyu, as we told you, originally from Siris, Russia. It's an industrial town in the north, well east of Moscow. Snow on the ground 6 months a year, often up to the waist. His father was a factory worker and an ice fisherman.
The older fighters like Vince Phillips have to remember to discipline themselves. In other words, in the late rounds, he has to keep his body locked and stay ready for anything. Young fighters are good at this because as amateurs, they don't have but 3 rounds, and they're used to keeping their body disciplined for that 3 rounds.
Combination by Tszyu. Vince Phillips still trying to develop a boxing rhythm. Threw more punches than Tszyu in the first round. They landed just about the same number.
Good short left hook off the jab. You may notice that Phillips already has a mark under one of his eyes. The right one, I believe. He came into the fight with that. Apparently, he suffered a black eye in his last sparring session about a week ago.
Had a dark mark under the right eye yesterday. Vince does tend to cut. It has been bothersome for him in several fights. Tszyu was cut early by South African Jan Bergman, who came back to win the fight with an 11th round knockout. Hard left hand by Tszyu.
His punches are getting a little wide. He's losing that discipline that I'm talking about. Tszyu is keeping his punches very sharp. Vince's punches do not have the sting on them that they had earlier.
Tszyu keeps his feet wide apart. Very strong legs. Powerful foundation for a 140-pounder.
Very powerful foundation. Yes, he's throwing good body shots, though. This could well. Oh, that was a good body shot by Tszyu.
Tszyu starting to land the left hook repeatedly. Phillips coming back with a right hand and a jab. Not as much snap in the jab here in round two as was the case in round one.
Good right hand by Phillips, though.
A sharp right hand there by Vince Phillips. Both fighters have made an impression in rounds 1 and 2. In case you're wondering about Jennifer Klarman from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, part-time model, just finished law school in May, studying now to take the Pennsylvania bar, not an easy one, in July. Hopes to be practicing law by this fall and may continue to model a little bit in the future because she thinks it's a good way to moonlight off her law practice.
And once again,
doesn't look legal to me.
Okay, we got the right hand to the body, we got the right hand to the head, we got the hook behind it if you sweep with it, okay? But don't stand back in front of the guy on the left side, okay? Keep your hands up, okay? Hands up, being smart. Double up on the jab. Double up on the jab, right hand on and over, back with the hook, okay? Sweep to There we go.
Told you coming in how Vince Phillips averages more than 70 punches thrown per round. He's averaging 72 per round here, paying a price as Tszyu, often counterpunching in return, is landing at a 40% rate. They go to round 3.
The reason Tszyu is so powerful is because he throws a lot of speed on all of his punches. Good body shot by Tszyu.
Phillips cracking twice with the right hand. Tszyu coming back and landing the left hook in return.
Oh, that was a good hook by Phillips.
This reminds you a little bit of the Cuarte fight for Phillips down in San Martin as he bravely traded power shots with the more powerful Cuarte and ultimately paid the price.
Oh, that was a good right hand by Phillips, but it didn't bother Kostya with none whatsoever. Kostya has a very strong foundation.
Yeah, he just gives you the impression it's going to be awfully difficult to hurt him.
Oh, good body shot by Phillips. Body shots will weaken any fight. I don't care how strong your foundation is.
chance USA to try to bolster the hopes of Vince Phillips. And now there's a return chant from the Tszyu fans in the crowd.
There are actually people who have flown here from Australia to see that.
Vince Phillips there's a little weak now. Oh, that was a good hook by Phillips, though. These guys are really trying to get each other out of here.
Three judges watch in rapt fascination as we do, and you get the impression that scorecards will be a moot point. They keep fighting like this, somebody's going to go away.
That's right.
It ain't going to be us.
No, we'll be right here until it's all over. Hey, that was a good punch, I think. That was right on the line. His belt buckle is above his navel, and that is a legal shot in pro boxing.
Referee Benji Esteves, nevertheless, warning Vince Phillips about low blows.
Oh, that's a good shot by Phillips. Oh, a very good exchange in the middle of the ring. This is turning into a good fight, a boxing after dark fight even.
It's on that level.
Vince, you're the man! Vince, you're the man! Vince, you're the man! Vince, you want this championship?
Give me the towel around here. Give me the towel around his chest. Towel around his chest.
Vince, you got this, guy. Be smart. Don't waste a lot of energy. Go straight down the guy.
In the back of the neck, Ronnie, just put it straight on the neck.
Take the bucket.
No, I've got the greases.
Relax, relax. Bubba, come on, wake up.
In round three, the two fighters combined to land 51 punches, of which 44
good
were
right
power
hand by
shots.
Phillips.
Yep, Vince going back to the body, Roy?
Yeah, he's going to the body pretty good in that last round. If he can continue that, this may turn into a real good fight. Actually, it already is a good fight.
Top by Vince Phillips. Tszyu showed no effect. Comes back to pound away to Phillips' upper body. Now there's a right hand lead by Tszyu.
Vince's eye is starting to swell just a little where he had that bruise at, but I don't think it'll be a problem for him.
Phillips able to land one uppercut as they wrestled inside. Now Tszyu beats him to the punch to start the next flurry.
Vince still working the body real good. He just has to move his head some. He can't sit his head still in front of a big puncher like Tszyu.
Tszyu landing more and more frequently with right hand leads across the top against Phillips.
Big shot by Vince Phillips. Just seemed to have no effect on Kostya.
Tszyu more than willing to trade shots with Vince Phillips.
He feels he's the stronger puncher of the two. One thing Kostya isn't doing, though, he's not working Phillips' body as much as he should be.
Vince Phillips landing a solid left hook and a right cross, and Tszyu just showing no effect whatsoever.
None.
War of wills as round 4 comes to a close. 1/3 of the way down in a scheduled 12-rounder in Atlantic City.
Vince, getting a little lazy. Getting a little
Well,
lazy.
let him in 4 rounds. How do you see it?
Let me tell you something. I think this Russian kid is a tremendous fighter. 39-37, 3 rounds to 1. Tszyu. He just keeps walking through Phillips. Phillips' face is badly swollen, both eyes. Tszyu just keeps coming. Nothing seems to affect him. I thought Vince had a very good round in the 3rd round. He hit Tszyu some tremendous shots, but nothing stops this kid. The Russian is like a freight train.
I have it 2-1 and 1 even.
Where's my hook at?
For
The
Tszyu.
hook has been good, okay? Uppercut is good, okay?
And you see
Step
that
around.
eye,
This time, you know what I want you to do?
it's getting worse.
This time, you know
It's
the
not
plan
going
we
to
talked
get
about?
better.
You know the plan we talked about?
No way
Set him up
possible.
with the right, yeah, Vince. You know, set him up with the right hand, right, and hooking off of it. Now the time.
Kenny Adams, the voice in the ear of Vince Phillips. Adams now in his 2nd tour of duty as Vince's trainer. He was out of there for a while as Vince worked with Jerome Coffey. Vince has been through some wild management and training upheaval getting ready for this fight. He wound up training in 3 different places in the last 7 weeks. And with 3 different trainers, including briefly Emmanuel Stewart.
I guess 3 heads are better than 1.
Solid right hand lands for Phillips. Tszyu holds his hands apart.
Oh, that was another good right hand by Phillips.
And Tszyu smiling slightly at Phillips. An acknowledgement that Vince is landing sharply.
Vince can't relax on the inside because Kostya is throwing some very good punches on the inside. I think this 140-pound weight division may have Phillips in better shape for the long haul than he was at 147. He doesn't have to deal with as much weight on the other side.
He looks well conditioned despite all of the obstacles he faced in training for the fight.
But that happens sometimes. Sometimes God puts obstacles in front of us to make us show ourselves that we really want whatever it is we are to get. I had a lot of obstacles in front of me before I made the Olympic team, but I knocked all of them down.
Tszyu, carefully nurtured in what was once the Soviet sports machine, had more than 280 amateur bouts. No bad habits. He's never out of shape.
And that's good. That's one of the better ways to stay.
One more recent disappointment in your life with reference to amateur boxing, Roy, the International Olympic Committee failing to see fit to award you the gold medal you so richly deserved for Seoul 1988.
Yeah. Hard to even comment on it, you know.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
That's why this sport of boxing is so bad to me sometimes. You give it your best effort and you still lose. How can that happen? And if you lose rightfully, I could understand maybe. I would be upset and go home sad because I lost, and I hate to lose, but I'm an athlete. I can accept the loss if I get it rightfully. When I get them and they're not rightfully done, it makes me to where I can't sleep at night.
I'm sure you'll tell us you'll take all your recent disappointments out on Montel Griffin August 7th.
I ain't going to even talk.
All right.
I would take every one of them out come August 7th. But you know what? It's not him that I'm disappointed with. You know, he didn't make the decision. He just did what he should have did. I would have laid down too to try to get out of there, especially if you're facing a warrior like myself.
This Kostya don't miss at all. Jab, jab. That's good.
David Tua 1 week from tonight. Oscar De La Hoya 2 weeks from tonight.
Come on now, mate.
Lennox Lewis versus Henry Akinwande right after Wimbledon. Johnny Tapia against Danny Romero, July 18. Big summer of boxing upcoming on HBO. Roy Jones, Montel Griffin rematch August 7th. Round 6 arrives for Kostya Tszyu and Vince Phillips. And maybe Phillips begins to wear down just a little bit as the resolute Kostya Tszyu keeps moving forward against it.
But Vince is still landing a lot of good punches here, too.
One big success for Phillips in the fight. He's managed much of the time to force Tszyu to move backward. Kenny Adams, his trainer slash coach, said, if we can get Tszyu to move backward, we've got it going on, because he doesn't like to do that.
Yeah, but one thing about it is when he's backing up, Vince is walking forward on his heels. When you walk forward on your heels, it doesn't allow you to stay as alert as you would if you were backing up or coming forward on your toes. Oh, that was a good right hand by Vince.
Quick right hand over the top by Phillips. Again, they trade punches at close quarters. Through 5 rounds coming into this stanza, Kostya Tszyu landing more punches and landing at a higher percentage rate. Vince Phillips throwing more punches. Hard right hand by Tszyu.
That's what I'm telling you about that walking in. Vince would have never got caught with that punch had he been on his toes when he came in. But his heels were flat and he couldn't react to the punch. Vince is looking for a knockout here. He may need to put a few more punches together.
Hard to see why he would be looking for a knockout when he doesn't appear to have managed to hurt Tszyu at any time in the fight.
Yeah, but Vince thinks that he has the best right hand in the business. And he's always thought this. He'll go down, he'll die thinking that he has the best right hand in the business. And he does have a pretty good argument with it.
Well, he can throw it, no question about it. But he's landed some spectacular right hands here without moving the 140-pound block of granite that is Kostya Tszyu.
Oh, good body shot by Phillips. Very good body shot by Phillips. Them type of body shots can be very dangerous in the long run.
Loud popping sound at ringside as Phillips landed to the Kostya Tszyu rib cage. And we're halfway through the scheduled 12 rounds. Was there a headbutt? I see Kostya Tszyu wiping above his left eye and then looking at the glove as if looking for blood. I don't see any blood there.
I saw blood.
Yep, there it is on the left eye.
My radars are on top of it. They know when there's blood.
And Tszyu shaking his head as though disappointed by a headbutt.
With a towel, the dry towel. Yeah, Pete, that's enough. Look at mate, Pete. Pete, I want you to put the Vaseline on this. Get the bucket out. Little water coming. Rinse your mouth good. Rinse your mouth good.
Go out there and throw down like we work. All that other shit, we rid of it. Let's go.
Take it down now. Coach, there we go. Coach, go. Second. On there, Pete.
Phillips was hoping that he could bust up Tszyu. Will this change the complexion of the fight?
No, I don't think so. I think Tszyu is used to being cut. He's been cut once before, and probably been cut in some amateur fights. So I don't think that will bother him any. It may give Vince confidence, though. Well, that was two good punches by Kostya.
And incidentally, just to be fair, our tape operator is telling us that they believe it was a Vince Phillips right hand that caused the cut over the left eye of Kostya and not a headbutt, as I suggested.
That was another good body shot by Phillips. That right hand to the body is working very well for Vincent tonight.
Right hand lands flush for Phillips. Kostya comes forward again.
Let's go. Give me a clean break. Give me a clean break, man.
Oh, that was another good right hand by Vincent Phillips.
Crowd getting more than its money's worth here in the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Break. Let's go. Clean break. Clean break.
Oh, that was a good right hand by both fighters.
Stay back. Stay back.
Solid punches exchanged in the middle of the ring. Through 7 rounds, cool Vince Phillips trying to revive his contender status and hanging in, giving about as good as he's getting against world champion Kostya.
Oh, that was another good right hand by Vincent. But Kostya throwing some very good counters. Some of Kostya's best punches are coming on the clinch and on the break right now.
Blood in the mouth of Phillips.
These are two super strong 140-pound fighters.
Oh, there, now what Kostya. That's why Phillips throws the right hand.
6, 7, 8.
Kostya in stunned disbelief as Vince Phillips finally floors him with one of those dynamite right hands.
That's why Vincent throws that right hand so much.
You sure, mate? Kosh, don't keep your hands up, mate. You want to put this on there. Come on, Kosh, come on, mate. You've got to keep your hands up. You've got to jab him hard now, Kosh. Drill him, mate. Okay? You feeling good, mate? Come on, too.
Here we see that Tszyu's arrogance, which is a part of his strength, is backfiring because he's been coming into a good straight puncher a little too recklessly.
So at the end of round 6, Vince Phillips cuts Tszyu over the left eye with a right hand. At the end of round 7, he floors him with a left-right combination, and suddenly the outcome seems seriously in doubt.
And that right body shot right there is the key, I think, to Vince Phillips being able to weaken Kostya some.
No wrestling, guys. No wrestling. Come on, come on.
3 rounds, he kept telling us that he was investing well in the body punches.
Yep.
Now let's see if Phillips will abandon his fight plan and start firing away in search of a knockout.
Well, he's been doing that anyway, so that wouldn't be abandoning the fight plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fight plan was to box.
Fight plan's been thrown out the window. I tell you what.
He loves to fight.
Yep, I think he has Kostya a little tired right now, too, from the body punches.
Hard right hand lands for Tszyu.
Let's have to remember to go to Tszyu's body. Oh, that was a good hook by Phillips. Oh, that's a body shot.
More thunderous shots inside by both fighters.
Yes, they are thunderous. Vince needs to regain his composure. He's getting a little too loose, a little too wide to be fighting a good fighter like Kostya Tszyu. You have to maintain body discipline in these situations. This is where the body discipline will count. Because if you get caught with a good shot while you're not set for it, it may be good night. Oh, that was another good right hand by Vincent.
Sledgehammer right hand inside by Phillips. You heard Tszyu's corner asking him to keep his hands up. So far in the 8th, he has not done a good job of it.
That was a good counter by Kostya Tszyu.
I always worry that Phillips is going to lose his balance in there, Roy. He just seems so unsteady on his legs sometimes.
And that's why I'm saying that if he gets caught with a good Kostya Tszyu shot at that point, it's going to maybe knock him down or out. Because Kostya is a very big puncher.
No.
This has turned into a very good fight, where actually it's been a good fight.
It just keeps getting better and better round by round. Mark of a couple of guys who know that they are appearing on Boxing After Dark. Somehow or another, this program always produces fights.
You've got to watch that right hand, mate. He's getting the through with it too much, okay? Mate, you're feeling good, aren't you? Promise me, mate. Yeah. Mate, we need every round, Kos. Keep that on his head too, on it. And what on your head? Pete, I want the Vaseline, mate. Get rid of the bucket. Tell Miska.
It's okay? Rinse out real good and spit out, baby.
Vince.
Take this down. Take this down. Take this down. Take this down. Listen to me. You with me? With me, baby? Hey, stay close. Don't reach for him, okay?
Can Phillips sustain this pace in which he's picked it up for the last 3 rounds for the next 4 rounds against a younger, perhaps stronger fighter? Right now, he looks like he's coming on, and he might be slightly ahead in this fight. Harold, through 8 rounds, how do you have it?
Larry, I still have Kostya Tszyu slightly ahead, 76-75, 5-3 rounds. But I want to tell you, like you said, the last 2 rounds was all Vince Phillips. He's coming on. Vince really needed that 7th round to get him back in the fight, and it certainly did.
Remember in the Ellis fight that Phillips got stronger as the fight went on.
I have Tszyu ahead 4 rounds to 3 and 1 even, but Phillips ahead by a point with his knockout, or make that even because of his knockdown.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty even fight going into the last 4 rounds. In round 8, Vince Phillips enormously accurate with power shots like that right hand. He landed 25 of 36 attempts in round 8, throwing crosses.
And now there's blood coming from both fighters' eyes.
So the blood begins to flow from Phillips's eye. And Kostya Tszyu now with a big cut over his right eye to go with the one over his left.
But it's not bleeding in his eye. That's good.
Right. The one on his right eye isn't dangerous, but I thought I saw some blood coming from Phillips as well. It just might be the blood that's coming from Tszyu that has splashed onto Phillips.
No, they're going to show Phillips to a doctor as he has a cut on his right eye.
Yes, it was from a punch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you hear referee Benji Esteves telling Larry Hazard of the State Athletic Commission that the blood is coming from a punch, not a butt.
And that is a real bad cut.
Fight him. Let's go.
They allow Phillips to continue. As you can see, the cut is over his eye, under the brow, a very precarious place, and it's going to bleed into his eye, Roy.
Yeah, but he's dealt with this before, I think.
Hard right hand by Phillips.
Good right hand counter by Tszyu.
Tszyu takes a left hook. it right now, one way or the other.
Well, now we know what World War III might have looked like.
2 terrific junior welterweights trading punches and blood at short range.
I don't know how either guy is still standing.
A spectacular effort by both fighters. Tszyu in the black trunks with the ponytail, defending his world championship against a very hungry Vince Phillips of the USA.
Kostya has a little knot under his left eye now.
And they make it out of round 9.
Look at it. Go ahead. Vince, can you see out of that eye? Yeah. You all right? You want to keep going? Yes, sir. All right. Keep showing. Can you get that mouth? Keep defending yourself. Here you go. Yes, sir. Go ahead and do your work. Let's go, baby. Hey.
Vince, listen up.
Head up.
Vince,
Head up.
Vince, listen. Vince, huh?
You got to get rid of this guy.
What we want to do this round, man. We got to use that jab a lot. Vince, I want you to use your jab a lot. But do this here. Move away a little bit. Use your jab and try to take this round off just a little bit, okay? Don't take it out. But when I say that, all right?
It's hard.
It's all right.
All right.
Come on, get up.
All right,
Go.
second shot.
I got to have this fight. I got to have it.
There you'll see the right hand or the left that caused the cut right there. So 3 of the 4 eyes in this fight are bleeding.
One of them twice.
The only good eye left is Vince Phillips' left eye, his lead eye, as he lines up in his conventional stance. And you heard his trainer coach, Kenny Adams, asking for him to go back to using the jab. Why does he want the jab?
He told him to take off this round. I think he's hoping that Vince can back up and maybe catch Kostya on the outside with a good punch like he just did right there. But I would have told Vince to fight the same fight he's fighting. He's in the fight, very good. Why change what's working?
Let's go.
But then again, I'm not a trainer. Oh, that was a good body shot by Phil.
In round 9, Tszyu and Vince Phillips throwing and landing at just about an equal rate.
The right hand buckled Tszyu inside.
Indeed, his knees suddenly came unhinged, and Tszyu is still wobbling as Phillips goes for it. Vince Phillips on the verge of a big upset here.
Tszyu is out on his feet.
And that's it. Vince Phillips has finally won a world title.
Yes! 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 Coca-Cola rules again. Yes!
Monumental upset in Atlantic City. Cool Vince Phillips of the United States finally fulfills his talent.
Well,
What an exhibition of power punching down the stretch by Phillips.
Let me come back down to earth and explain to you what happened, though. The body shot that Phillips kept hitting Kostya with weakened Kostya.
He turned the fight around in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds with shots to the body, and overcame a cut over his right eye, which could easily have ended the fight in Tszyu's favor.
Yes, it could have.
I like the way you took care of that, Doc. Way to listen. Way to go, man.
In the 10th round, en route to that knockout, Vince Phillips landed 20 of 25 punches in total, 18 of 20 power shots. And Tszyu didn't know where he was when referee Benji Esteves stepped in to stop it. So Vince Phillips kept getting his chances. He got the chance against Quartet 2 years ago. Couldn't take advantage of that. He got the chance against Romalis Ellis in January of this year. Appeared to have won the fight. Was denied on a split decision. Tonight, he would not be denied.
And like I told you, a lot of times God puts obstacles in front of us to make sure that we want, what we think we want.
Here's the finish, Roy. Phillips just working and working with that right hand as he had throughout the bout.
Because he knew that he had Kostya weakened.
And this derails the Tszyu Express, which was well on the way toward a possible meeting with Miguel Angel Gonzalez or Julio Cesar Chavez to partially unify the 140-pound title. And maybe down the road there was a De La Hoya fight in the future. But now Vince Phillips has some of those same possibilities.
There's a good right hand over the top of Kostya's left. That's what hurt him in the beginning.
That's where Tszyu's knees came unhinged.
And Phillips knows when he has a fighter hurt. And he has always been a fantastic finisher.
And what did you tell us earlier about Vince's belief in his right hand?
I told you he would die thinking that he has one of the best right hands in the business. The only person that he would argue to say may have one close to his would be mine.
Well, let's go ask Tszyu if he doesn't think Vince has one of the best right hands in the business. Tonight, Vince can make a strong argument for himself.
He served Pensacola proud tonight. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. I don't know what to do.
Through 9 rounds on the 3 scorecards, it was 85-85 dead even, 87-85 Phillips, 86-85 Tszyu. So the fight was still hanging in the balance as we entered the last 3 rounds. And now let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on a huge upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Benji Estevez steps in and calls a halt to this bout. The official time, 1 minute, 22 seconds of round number 10. The winner, in the tradition of a fighter who never, ever gives up, and new RBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Phillips.
Let me do this. We got business now. Hold on, we got business. We got the business.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Nobody really can feel how you feel after a fight like this. Vince Phillips, you've come from a long way back to this point.
First, I'd like to thank God for guiding me through this hard obstacle of training that I had to do. He guided me through this tight. He let me start since November, this red belt around my waist.
Tell us about that vision you had.
Well, back in November, I had a vision that I was going to fight for the IBF, red belt. And the only red belt I know is the IBF belt. And I saw a black guy picking me up. You saw he did it after I won it. I never knew it was. Akbar wasn't in my camp at the time. All of a sudden, the IBF title came up. Akbar came back up. God guided me to this vision, and thank you, God, I won it.
Why did you win this fight?
First of all, I'd like to dedicate it to you, baby.
Well, thank you. I didn't do anything. Thank you, but thank you.
Just the support that you gave me and these fights that I fought with Ellis and all that, I appreciate it. And Roy, I'm the champ, baby. I'm the champ.
Why did you win this fight?
I won it because, first of all, I've noticed to just watch Zeus how he do. Zeus had a tendency of lunging in. He's short with his punches, and I just kept my distance. I went back to my old style what Roy Jones Sr. taught us, and watching what I had to do. Not just going at him, keeping my strength and my vision together.
Was he a little too reckless in the way he came to you and was unguarded? Was that just open all night for you?
No, he wasn't reckless. He was trying to do what he knew how to do. All I had to do was keep my focus and count it. If I didn't count it, I'd have been out, just like everybody else.
Did he hurt you at all?
No, yes, he hurt me one time, I think, in the second or the third round. He caught me with a overhand right, I think, and that was the last shot.
All right, you suffered that bad gash on your right eye in the round just before the fight was stopped. Did you feel a desperation that you had to end it?
No, I didn't really feel desperation. My corner told me to go out, get my distance, utilize my jab, come over with the right hand, throw the left hook, and keep my distance and hit him with a power shot. That's what I did, and I caught him, landed him. Frank Patty, I did it, baby. Mom and Daddy, your son is now the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the world. Thank you, God. Yes.
Congratulations again, Vince. Jim?
All right, thanks very much, Larry Merchant. We told you about the 3 official scorecards, one even, one with Tszyu ahead, one with Phillips ahead. How about you, Harold?
I agree with the judges. I had it all even at 85-85, but I want to tell you, what a fantastic finish by Vince Phillips. I certainly had him winning 7, 8, 9, and he just whacked him out. He did what he had to do, Jim.
Brave comeback victory for Vince Phillips, who seemed a little bit out of it in the early rounds against the stronger Tszyu and then wore him down and won the fight. Let's go back into the ring to Larry Merchant.
All right, thank you. And you saw that Vince Phillips was telling you that you fought a terrific fight and you'll be a champion again. Why are you now an ex-champion?
That's a good question. Because I'm lost. Simple as that.
Was he just stronger or smarter than you thought?
I can't say. I predict this kind of fight. I predict this kind of thing. I can tell it's my mistake because I didn't fight well like I should do.
Your corner kept saying, hold your hand up high, because he was catching you with that.
It doesn't matter where you point. If your hand's here, right hand's coming here. It doesn't matter. It's anywhere. He's got good right hand. He's got very quick right hand. And I give all credit to him. And I fought well, but not well enough to beat him. And I'm sure if he give me a rematch one day, I will fight for sure. And it's going to be a much better fight.
Well, it couldn't be much better than this fight was. Thank you very much for a great effort. And back to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Larry, and thank you, Tszyu, for giving us your time after that disappointing loss. Final punch stat numbers, and you can see how even it was toward the end. Tszyu in the closing rounds throwing more punches than Phillips did, but Phillips raising his accuracy rate throughout the fight and landing half the power punches that he threw in the fight. That ultimately was the difference, particularly his ability to continue landing the big right hand. And let's say one thing very plainly here. Any of you out there who find your lives damaged by the ravages of crack cocaine and think that you can never beat that particular demon, here's living proof you can do it. Because Vince Phillips has been down and out at the hands of crack cocaine. He won that battle and came back to win his first world title tonight, Roy.
It makes Pensacola, myself, and God very proud of him.
When he was a young man and you were his buddy and you were training with him in the gym, he had so much talent, you had to assume that this kind of victory would come long before now.
Yeah, and I used to be upset with him as a grown-up and as a professional because I expected him to win a title slightly before I did because he was older. And, you know, I just thought that by him going turning pro first, he would be the first one to a belt. However, I'm still not complaining. He got there. Pensacola now has 2 world champions. They got a lot of other things coming. Teddy Wheat, Dynamite D, some rappers, Knockout Production. Everything is coming from the South right now. I love Pensacola. I love Vince Phillips. And I'm so proud of him tonight until I have to go back and get my title back come August 7th.
I know you've always thought that Vince could win big fights like this if he could get his life together. Did you believe that he could win the war against drugs, or did you ever give up on the notion that he could do that?
No, I never gave up. I was one of the people who stayed on him. He used to avoid me sometimes because I stayed on him so hard about winning that battle. I wanted for him to win that battle first because I know that until he beat that, he'd never be world champion. He beat that, he beat this, and all that is proof to show that if you are willing, God can show you the right way. God will guide you the right way.
Step 1, Vince Phillips beat crack. Step 2, he beats Tszyu and wins a world championship. Larry, this was about as inspiring as any victory we've seen in a long, long time.
Well, I guess you might say that age and experience and not youth was served tonight. These were 2 professional prize fighters, the kind of fighters that really make the game. The superstars are the ones that we are all attracted to, fabulous athletes with great ambitions. But when you see 2 fellows like this still going at it, still training hard, still putting themselves on the line, body and soul, it's what uplifts us all. And all 4 fighters showed us something about what makes prize fighting so attractive to all of us.
Indeed. Great night in Atlantic City. Thank you very much, Larry. Thanks, Roy, for another terrific effort.
Thank you.
We'll have a final word on what happened in the boxing ring in just a moment. First, some words about upcoming programs here on HBO.